Hi, let's have a look at monitoring and assessing project. This normally would be a task for the project leader, but the rest of the team probably could contribute to it as well. The first question is, well, what exactly are you monitoring? So there's a whole lot of things to pay attention to. What really ought you pay attention to? Well, there is quite a debate about that in agile circles, because the question is, well, what is progress? How do you know what progress is? The question that you're trying to pursue is the team closer to achieving its goals than before? Before could be before last week or yesterday or something of that nature, but are you making progress toward your goals? In order to get to your goal, you need not only to implement the functionality, but you need also to understand both the problem and all the techniques, the information, the knowledge that you need to do the implementation. So you might need to understand the problem itself and understand a whole lot of knowledge that you need to learn. So are you making progress on that? Are you making progress on keeping the risks under control? What might prevent the team and the project from achieving its objectives? Now, these are things like, we don't know how to do something. Well, that could stop you doing it. Or there could be a risk that, I don't know, somebody goes missing, somebody necessary has to pull out of the subject, and suddenly that's a showstopper. One of the other ones, rarer these days I must admit, but still happens, is what happens if all your files go missing? Do your backups. What are you going to monitor also? What has been achieved so far and what remains to be done? Those sort of things, that seems to be about as much as you need to monitor about the project. Now, monitoring, what is it about those things that you should monitor? So, where are you compared to where you ought to be? There are changes to the objectives, changes to the requirements. This kind of thing comes in, particularly from customers. Okay, everybody in the industry always says, well, the customer will have made up their mind. Well, I'm sorry, but in a lot of software development now, the customer doesn't quite understand the solution any more than you do. They're trying to sort of feel their way through. They've got a vague idea of how to solve the problem, and there's this computer system that's going to be part of the solution, and they don't understand that. They don't understand how the two are going to work together, or if they're going to work together. And trying to develop the solution helps to clarify what the problem is as well. So don't be too hard on the customer when they come back and say, oh, I've changed this requirement, or I've changed my mind. That happens. There are changes to the work remaining, there are changes to the quality levels, there are changes to outstanding risk, and there's changes in the state of knowledge, and you need to be monitoring all of that. Now, one of the things that was pretty interesting is the study of high reliability organizations and what makes them highly reliable. Now, I'm talking about surgical teams or air traffic control teams, flight deck operations on an aircraft carrier or nuclear power plant. For these people, it matters to get it right. You can't die. Again, Carl Weick, one of my favorite sociologists, he's done a study of this and has summarized it in about 5 different things for a high-performance team. There is a preoccupation with failure. That is, how can this thing go wrong? We're not too concerned about it going right. We expect it to go right, but we're interested in how can it go wrong. There is a reluctance to simplify things. Now, quite frequently in normal working situations, somebody will just dismiss some symptom or other as, oh, that's just the customer being a nuisance, or they'll find some way where whatever the problem is, it's not as important as you might think. With high reliability organizations, that isn't so. Any symptom is examined thoroughly, because it could be some message hidden in the chaff somewhere. It could be something quite different, and you're not recognizing it. So people are reluctant to simplify the explanation just for convenience sake or expediency. They want to examine it. There is a sensitivity to operations, so the most important people are the people actually doing the work, because that's where it's all happening. And everybody's very sensitive to operational concerns. Now, I guess an illustration of that is that on aircraft carriers, at least once a day when aircraft are in, when it's operational, there is a complete inspection of the entire deck for loose objects. We're talking about something the size of a loose nut or a rivet, because loose objects can be quite dangerous. So there's the sensitivity to operations. In an operating theatre, is the equipment up to speed? Is it all in perfect working order? We don't want it not in order. There is a commitment to resilience. So there's quite a concern with how can we recover from this, what happens if that goes wrong. Yes, we want everything at full strength, but what if it's not? How can we continue to operate? And there is a deference to expertise. Status matters less than expertise in high reliability teams. So the fact that somebody is highly promoted matters very little compared to somebody who has the knowledge, and there's this deference to expertise. So there you have that on monitoring the project and assessing the state of the project.